Captions, subtitles, they seem like they are very similar, and they kind of are in a way, but they're actually different to each other. Did you know that? Because it seems like when I talk to a lot of people, they are not aware that there are differences between captions and subtitles. So I just thought in this video I'm going to go over quite briefly what are the differences between the two coming right up. Now, as I said, I'm going to go over it quite briefly. If you want a more detailed explanation, you can check out the link down below. But let's get straight into it. Captions generally are designed for those who are deaf or hard of hearing, and not only to include the dialogue and people speaking, but also the non-speech elements as well. So for example, a common thing that you might see is music at the bottom. Who is singing song and what is the name of that song? That's one thing. But there are also sound effects that you tend to hear quite often, and it's displayed at the bottom. So for example, maybe dogs barking. Maybe a thunderstorm. Maybe door slamming. I need to do that by myself. One second, I'm gonna do it right now. Or maybe cricket chirping. I think it's playing. I'm not sure. I don't know what it sounds like. I've never heard a cricket chirp before because I don't know what it sounds like. I've got it on in the background. Can you hear it? Because I don't know. I put the volume up high, but I don't know if it's on or not. So let me know if it's not working because whoopsie. Subtitles, on the other hand, is quite different because the main thing that it does is that it will translate the video into your language, and it will assume that you don't understand the language of that video. So as you can imagine, the most common time that subtitles are used are foreign films. So because the person who produced the video assumes that the audience can hear, which is obviously not always the case, but that's what they assume, but they just don't understand the language. So the dialects and the dialogue are at the bottom, which makes it, quite easy for you to keep up with the foreign film, and a lot of people love it. Great. But then from my experience, when I watch these foreign films, they don't always add those non-speech elements because obviously it's subtitles, but they should sometimes put it in because sometimes it does add to the film itself. But that's the idea. It's just about the literal translation of that person speaking. That's it. Now don't forget, there are actually two different types of captions. There's open captions and closed captions. You can check it out yourself on what they mean up above. But they are very, very different films. You should learn about that. And in some cases, you will see that not everyone captions their video, and you should caption your videos. I'm not going to keep talking about it because it's very annoying when people don't caption their videos. But they're actually very important, so just do it because there are so many benefits to it. And again, I've talked about that in a separate video, and it's just so useful for many, many people. And of course, they are very similar in terms of they both allow you to reach that audience, and that audience can access that video content. But sometimes, depending on the scene, the video, the type of project that you're doing, you might want to include those non-speech elements. They might be important for that kind of video. And especially if that person is watching it in silent or can't hear, then you want to make it more obvious that those scenes which have those music or sound effects, you might find that useful and add to the context of your story. And that's why when people always ask me, when do I use captions and when do I use subtitles? Well, of course, the beautiful answer is that it depends, because there are no direct answers. But like I said, it just depends on the audience and depends on your video. You have to kind of use your common sense and work out what do they need to access. But like I said, there isn't always a clear-cut answer to it. But the general answer that I should always tell you to do is just caption a video. Just caption it anyway. Everybody wins when you do that. Even from my own personal experiences, I have seen the benefits of having those captions written and created correctly, making it beautiful and making it work. The best example is when you watch those documentaries, especially those animal-based documentaries, the one that we see Sir David Attenborough is in it and he's narrating, but then you also have those sound effects in the background, and I don't always hear them. And that's why in one particular scene I remembered I was watching, I didn't realize the dolphins were clicking and chittering with each other apparently while they are swimming underwater. I thought that was important. We need to know that. And then there was another scene where it's like an overview of the rainforest, and you go over it, the camera goes over it, and there were loads of animal noises. Apparently I couldn't hear it, but there were loads of animal noises kind of overlapping each other, and it was captioned at the bottom as overlapping animal vocalization, which is quite creative, but it actually made sense to me, and it made me realize, oh, we're going to this jungle where there are loads of animals in that rainforest, so that's important to know as well. There are so many more examples of when captions do matter and when they work the best, but this is just one example. You work it out yourself. Is it important for the audience to know the sound effect of those videos? So work it out. Make sure you do it anyway regardless. Make sure you do the best caption that you can do possible. Caption all your videos. More people will benefit from it. You get the benefit out of it if you are creating those videos, because then more people access your videos. Who doesn't want that? So I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand the differences between captions and subtitles. As I said, don't forget to check out the blog post down below. It will go in a little bit more detail about the differences between the two. But then also, let me hear your opinion. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. And also, are there anything else that I'm missing? Any further insight that you want to share with me? I would love to hear from you. Just make sure you comment down below. And also, make sure you click that subscribe button too. In the meantime, I will speak to you again soon. Take care.